Hey yo, it's me, the bad guy Zeke 4-0, back with a brand new episode of WWE Champions. If you enjoyed the video, make sure afterwards to leave a like as well as a comment. Plus, if you're new, drop a people's elbow on the subscribe button as well as hit a razor's edge on that bell icon for future notifications. We have a new event going on. Now, this event is going to be based on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and it's actually bringing in the introduction of two new champions. Now, this is basically going to be running similar to the Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy Reunite the Hardys event, where you're going to use one member of a tag team to get the other member. But they're actually introducing a new mechanic to this, so allow me to explain. In order to get the champions that are needed for this event, you're going to have to take care of certain milestones to acquire the shards for the first champion. And then once you have that champion, you are going to use them to get the other milestones so you can get the second champion out of the vaults. Now, I just did a video the other day basically discussing this idea of basically having one champion and having the other available in shards, and basically you go for the main champion in the vaults. But that's basically what's going on right here. You're getting one champion through milestones so you can acquire the shards so that you can get club member Carl Anderson. And then once you have the shards from the milestones of the event for Anderson and have him unlocked, you then continue on so you can get his tag team partner Gallows. The club is coming to Champions. Now, this is another interesting thing. There's a two-parter to this tour as well. Now, the second part is strictly Carl Anderson, but part one, I'm about to cover those champions that are needed for it, so just stay tuned. And another cool dynamic that's coming with this is that they have the loot basically back again, like the SummerSlam loot. Instead, it's the Hell in a Cell loot. And so we have the vaults here as shown, as displayed. Plus, we have basically the steel cages that are going to be used, that are basically going to be used so that you can get these milestones. So that's the basically going to be the item this time around, is going to be the steel cages. And plus there's going to be a bonus tour like the Hardys with once you reunite the club with Gallows and Anderson, you're basically going to be able to get more points and more rewards towards the event, so you can't beat that. Now, we have the return of keys. This time it's Hell in a Cell keys plus a Hell in a Cell briefcase. So that's how we're going to be pulling champions. And we also have a couple of new introductions as well. We have inside of the Hell in a Cell loot, we have these are the coins for the Hell in a Cell loot. You can get the packs inside your in-game store. A 3 pull is $6, a 16 pull is 30, and a 55 pull is 100. So depending on where you are, that price might range, but it's going to be around that area. Now, this bag right here is a shard bag. These bags are offered inside of the Hell in a Cell loot, and quite frankly, to be honest, it's actually a real good option because one member of mine did a couple pulls and he was able to get 10 shards for Undisputed Seth Rollins and 10 shards for Vince McMahon Chairman, and both are very solid champions. Once again, though, my concern is if they do away with shards, and I have to make a correction from my previous video from Daily Missions. I said that if I had 400 shards for Macho Man. I was wrong, because if I had 400 shards for Macho Man Acrobat, then I would be able to unlock him. What I meant to say is if I had 300 out of 400 shards for Macho Man, and then they did away with the shards, I feel that me as well as any other players who are that close to having a champion like that should be rewarded that champion. Now, obviously, if you don't have the full amount of shards, that can be questionable about what rate you get them. But if anything, just drop it down one tier as a discount since you were halfway. This is something that we have to keep in mind. The shards are good, but like a lot of good ideas that we have had, sometimes they're around for a little bit and then they just up and disappear. And with this giving people the opportunity to pull champions, I do not want to see no one screwed over. But the shard bags that are offered inside of the Hell in a Cell loot are pretty clutch. So you could get a bunch of shards for champions you already have, which can help you with fuse ups, or you can get shards for champions that you do not have, because there's up to 100 champion superstar shards in these bags that are offered. So that is a pretty cool little mechanic as well. So shards are definitely looking to become a very key thing when it comes to champions right now, because you need Anderson again for this event. You have to get the milestones to acquire the shards for him to unlock, and then you use the Shard champion and Anderson to clear out the milestones even further so you can get the vault so you can pull Gallows. So that is a pretty sick. And like right here, as you can see pictured, Hell in a Cell Part 1 and Part 2. Now, here are the champions that are required for Hell in a Cell Part 1. You got Bobby Roode, the glorious one, Showboat. You have AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, Acrobat. You got Sergeant Slaughter, Sarge, Trickster, Doink the Clown, the prankster, Technician, Rocky Maivia, the blue chipper, Striker, Finn Balor, Balor Club, also Striker, Edge the Brood, Acrobat, Paige the Raven-haired Renegade, Showboat, Nia Jax the Irresistible Force, Powerhouse, and then we have Carl Anderson, the Club. Now, I'm not too certain which class he is in. It looks that he's going to be a Striker and Gallows is going to be a Trickster. So that's actually a pretty cool combination, and I actually look forward to seeing what kind of combination they have going on. Because will they share a link? Will the club basically make a tandem out of Balor and AJ as well? Because the club have both run alongside Finn Balor and AJ Styles, both on SmackDown and Raw, and everyone obviously knows Too Sweet Bullet Club history. So will we see a full club link that includes Gallows, Anderson, Styles, and Balor? That's going to be unique. And those are the champions. And as I said earlier, Part 2, the required champion is Carl Anderson throughout. So that is going to be a solid thing to do. And obviously, we're going to be able to get a lot of rewards, and there's different ways to get these steel cages for the milestones. You, again, like I said, you can either evolve and enhance your champions, you can raise their talent, you can upgrade them with TP. So that is something that we need to look forward to. And again, they're offering the keys so that obviously you can do pulls. So you're going to be on the lookout for that and see who is going to be inside those briefcases this time around. Now, before I close this out, now that we covered everything, remember, Hell in a Cell event, you're going to have to go through the event. The event has not started yet, but the loot is live now, so you can get the champions that are required. You're going to get the milestones that are going to give you the shards to unlock Carl Anderson. Then you're going to use Carl Anderson as well as the other champions required for those tours to get further on in the milestones so you can get the vaults. So then you can unlock Luke Gallows. Once you have both champions, there will be a bonus tour that is unlocked that you can run so you can get further on with your milestones for this event. Now, there's also, keep in mind, there are bag shards that are now being featured inside the loot. So if you pull those, you have a chance of getting shards for up to 100 superstars. It could be anybody. And I don't know about like the full range of the amount of shards. I know 10 is for certain. I know that's a fact. I've also seen 20, but that is also a good way to acquire some new champions if you basically hoard enough of those shard bags. So that's cool. That's really cool. We got the 20-day Chad Gable. We have an opportunity to get shards through the milestone of the event for Anderson so that we can get Gallows plus a bonus tour. And we have the loot that's basically running in the store. You can get the loot for $6, $30, and $100. And in that loot is also the shard bags for those 100 superstars. Now, before I close out, if you're still watching, I have to share this with you, and I hope that you're still with me on this because we did a thing. I was very, 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 hesitant about doing a poll on this banner, and this is going to give you my answer of what to do. I went ahead and got 16. I wasn't expecting much. We got an explosion, and when I saw this explosion, I was literally prepared for anything to happen. We've seen how the luck can be for the bad guy. We didn't know what we were going to get, and I was actually ready and prepared to get that powerhouse Triple H at 2-star silver. But as you can see, we started out strong. We got Miz, still a solid trickster, even though there's other ones better out. We got a couple we're getting some dupes in here. We got Edge, who's required for the tour. But then, things like get ready. We got a shard bag. We got one of those shard bags. I actually have not opened it yet. And something just told me as soon as I saw this, I was hesitant. I talked it over with my teammates. I was like, I don't know if to do a 16 or 55 pull, but you know what? It's one of those situations where it's all by chance, and sometimes we got to take chances so that we can help out our faction. And now with the shards, you definitely want to take that risk, and we did take that risk because we pulled 3-star silver Bobby freaking Roode, y'all. We pulled a 3-star silver. That is my second 3-star silver pulled out of loot, with AJ Styles being the first and now Roode being the second in a 16 pull. $30 in a dream. And the crazy part is that I always wanted Roode. I'm a huge fan of Roode, but whenever I went looking for him, I never got him. When I finally just decided to just wing it and take a chance without even keeping in mind, like, oh snap, he's on the banner, get the explosion, we get Roode. That is phenomenal. That is glorious. That is wonderful. And I can't even be mad at that. Literally. So that answers one of those questions too. If you pull a champion out of the loot, you get that champion. But if you pull the champion afterwards, you're basically going to get shards for that champion. So that's basically how it goes. And depending on what kind of fuse up is in the store or the loot, that's what you're going to be looking for. That's what you're going to be building. But oh my God, y'all, like that is crazy. Like, read them and weep right there. 16 out of 16. Got a lot of shards. We got Bobby freaking Roode, the glorious one, 3-star silver. So I am passing my luck to you. Now that you know the information for the Hell in a Cell event, now that you know that the Hell in a Cell loot is live, you've seen the bags that are going to be presented, you see how the shards are dropping now for champions, and you could have a good chance of pulling one of those champions, those top tier champions on that banner. You could pull Balor Club. You could pull Tough Seth. You could pull Macho Man. You could pull Sarge. You could pull Roode. Anything is possible. And sometimes you just have to take a chance. And I took a chance. I talked to my teammates. My boy Stone Cold said, yo, do a 16 pull. If the 16 pull doesn't go right, then stop. But if you're good, then try another one. And you know what? Thank you, Stone Cold, for those words. Thank you to Bruno. Thank you guys. Thank you, Wrecking Ball, for giving me that luck. And thank you for sharing that luck with me. And now I'm going to share that luck with y'all, because bad times don't last forever, but bad guys do. And now this bad guy is going to be living absolutely glorious. So we are winning, y'all. To pull or not to pull on the Hell in a Cell loot, proof is in the pudding. Yes, you're going to pull, and the bad guy is sending you nothing but the best luck ever so that you can get it done. And may you pull Carl Anderson, may you pull Luke Gallows, may you get Chad Gable, and may the good times roll from here on out. And with that being said, y'all, it's yours truly, the bad guy. Stay tuned. Peace.